come to the conclusion that's just what I do. So try to keep this under an hour. I believe my last videos are now up on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Twitch on a VOD, it might be better just to go over to my YouTube, which is right there, and I'll try and make sure that those get on there, because I know how much Twitch sucks with their loading. So who cares about all that jibber jabber? Well, let's get into what do the Broncos do defensively. Now, believe it or not, this actually might give us a little taste of how the Broncos will match up with Seattle. I say that because the Patriots do like running the ball and have a lot of success with it. The difference is between the Patriots and Seattle is Seattle is a zone blocking team. Patriots do have some zone blocking in there. They will run it. But they also have wing counters. They will pull man every once in a while. So there are some subtle differences. But schematically, it's not that different. There are going to be similarities here. On the pass game, well, I don't think there's too much to see outside just how our cover guys are going to cover in Denver's case. Athletically on the outside, not getting the same type of routes. There's going to be a lot more, a little more complex route running with the wide receivers. There's going to be more than 2-3 guys going out for routes. So, it's the route running and all that stuff. It's going to give us a good idea of how they cover, but I don't think we're going to see similar routes going against the Broncos defense that we will see on Sunday. But let's just see how they're covering. I already see Champ Bailey here. So, see how he's playing, and immediately, kind of give a first impression, first play of the game. He gives a look of coming up on the ball, and now he's backing off. Personally, probably prefer him jamming. I've watched Champ. I watched the Justin Blackmon game against Champ Bailey. Champ was worked by Justin Blackmon, and a lot of it is because Champ Bailey never was aggressive, and I don't think he's getting too aggressive in games. I was just watching some tape from earlier in the season when he was getting some snaps here and there, and this is kind of a concern for me against maybe Percy Garvin plays. He lines up in that flanker wide, and we don't get a jam on him, and I don't think Champ's hips are like they used to be. I don't think he's going to be able to run with him down the field. That's where these two deep safety that Jack Del Rio loves so much, that's where we're going to see if and how they defend. So, first play of the game, let's just go over the defense very simply. To cover 2, 4-3. Guess what? John Fox, Jack Del Rio, this is what they run. This is what we're going to see. This is some base defense from the Denver Broncos. And there's already what we won't see on Sunday. Why do I say that? Well, first play of the game is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-man route. Seattle does not run 5-man routes. It's not what they do. It's not who they are. They want to protect. They want to get Wilson outside the pocket. They plan on their 3 guys, 4 guys to go on routes to win their one-on-ones. They're not going to try and deceive too much. And not only that, this is a cover 2. Almost looks like a cover 4 quarters, where Champ Bailey's bailing out to this. DRC's going to come up and attack here because he's running his out route. We have another in route here. Looks like a seam to post maybe, or the corner, maybe to post, we'll see. And check down here. Now obviously the ball's already being thrown, so, but this at this moment gives a good idea of how they want to defend the pass. Him bailing to this quarter. I say quarters because it's a quarter of the field. Him to this quarter, him to the hash marks, him to this, and typically if Edelman ran a deep route, that's where he would have ran. Now they adjust to do things right. Out route, he's going to jump on it. And that's good right there. I mean, doesn't take a whole lot of rocket science to see. He's playing off man, or excuse me, off, not man. He's playing off, and he just goes to attack the route. And Elman gets up and jaw. How's our pass rush? Terrence Knighton kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Just big dude. They have two guys eyeing him off the bat. Now that tends to happen. Yes, that tends to happen when a defensive tackle line up in that A gap. We got 2-eye technique, A gap, or 3 technique, B gap, and then 2-5 techniques. He's playing kind of like the 9, we'll call it. I know all of us heard of the infamous wide 9 in Philadelphia. Obviously, it's not what he's playing. Kind of matching up a little bit with the wing, but even the wide 9's a little bit wider. But he's playing that 9 technique, and we have the 5 here. So, you have C, you'll have C to D. Nothing too fancy. This is stuff we see a lot. Now it's depending on how they attack. I like the hand movement that Terrence Knighton's showing. He's willing to attack outside in, kind of try and get this guard's hands off of him. That's terrible. And hopefully will not be happening, because Russell Wilson, if he has to make this read immediately like Brady does, up the field right here. But again, as I've said in the past, you don't attack these mobile quarterbacks by going inside. You attack them by going outside. And these interior players will have to cover their gaps well. Okay, play number 2. A little bit of a difference now, right? We still have 2 high. Our nickel guy, or maybe this is linebacker, I can't tell so much. He's sitting inside leverage on him. We have the safety pushed over, which is pretty much his standard positioning. And we have our press. Now, are we going to see a press? I want to see a punch. I want to see a jam. Show it to me. I'm watching. No, I don't think so. I don't think he would have done it. I think the only reason he engaged is because he was getting blocked. So let's just give a look. This is a blitz inside. So probably would have been man coverage with the safety. And play like this. Best seen from end zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys in the pure box. We have an 8th and a 9th cheating in. Obviously he comes in, so we definitely have an 8-man box and almost a 9-man box. I mean, he's just outside of it. He's in that 3rd level. Shoot your hands, buddy boy. You're a big dog. Gotta shoot your hands. I was saying yesterday, if you do not shoot your hands as a defensive lineman, you will get cut. Look where his hand placement is. He did not attack the guy. He kind of let the guy come into him. The defense tackle allowed the guard to come into him. When that happens, you're allowing yourself to be cut blocked. And now we have potentially a cutback lane. Now this is just stretch. So stretch is not something that Seahawks run a lot. 3rd zones are typically inside zones. Not too much stretch. Now, here we go. This is how they're lining up against, looks like trips, single back. It's almost like a 2-level defense. You do have your deep safety pushed to the trip side. But, it's a lot of bodies right here. Still only 4 down linemen, still only sending 4. This is as cover 3 as other teams will get. You can kind of see how the separation in space is. We had a big pass play potential here. What did he see? Why does he throw the ball here? Let's see what he sees. Did we get a jam? We get a little bit of a jam. Half-ass jam. That's the jam that you do when you're scared of getting beat deep. You don't want to go for a full press and say, oh, he beat me, now he's run down the sideline free. I will note that it seems like he has outside leverage on him, so he did not want to push into the sideline. He wants to work him towards the safety, which kind of tells me that maybe this isn't so much cover 3 at this man. And they just had a box check or something in this area where they would play zone to counteract the route's potential. And he was going to cover the deep man. Not entirely sure what Brady sees here to say that I wanted the ball there. Had a little bit of leverage inside, I guess. Also, Kali, I think, leads in targets in this game, I believe. It's not what you want. Especially against Dominic Rogers-Cromartie, which played arguably the best football over the past 6 or 7 weeks, or had the best 6 or 7 week stretch during the season, I should say. And I think there was a point in the season. He looks offsides. Doesn't he? Balls, I guess. No, I guess not. Balls at the 20. Touchback? Yeah, touchback. So, just he just is so far lined up out of it. Is this unbalanced? Oh, I see what the problem. I see what happens. This is a wing. He's playing off the ball. He's on the ball. He's eligible. Okay. 2 deeps. Man, don't know what he's doing. Zone. This is Jack Del Rio. John Fox. That's what happens when you're around Brian Billick and Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin and all those guys for so long. I mean, John Fox and Belichick worked together too, right? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the Giants staff years ago. I think there's a history there. Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. We're not getting it at all. Little win inside, but you know what, man? This is just too late. It's just not even really a win either. Too slow. Nothing. Not getting anything there. I haven't seen much of a pass rush. Then we have a run play to the left for 1 yard. Knighton gets the play, so let's just watch Knighton. Did he make the tackle? Let's watch. So he swim moves, which when he's a big dude, what is Terrence Knighton's numbers? I should know this, but he is 6'3", 335, so he's actually not as huge. I mean, he's obviously weight-wise there, but I would say height-wise, the swim move on a guard or center typically is not the easiest thing to do at 6'3", because these guys are usually 6'3" themselves. So, I mean, the thing is he takes advantage of the center that fires off low. Center's got great technique. Fires off low, gets a great reach left, trying to drive him, and Knighton just counters it very well with the swim move. Understands that this guy fires off low probably was setting this up, worked on it in practice, watched the film, saw the center fires off, gets low, can get into you, probably drive you off the ball a little bit, and this is something he probably was trying to work to early in the game. Yeah, I give him tackle there. He gets in the way of the pulling guard. Is that what I see? Pulling tackle, excuse me. This play is done right here. Once this tackle can't come around, looks like they actually have it blocked decently well at the second level too. They could have just held this guy, because theoretically one of these two would be unblocked because the center would still be blocking Knighton, and this tackle would come around and block them, and you'd have a huge play potential. But instead, Terrence Knighton's set up camp in the backfield, and I accidentally hit forward. But we saw what was going on there. It's just it's a great play from Knighton. Okay, variation time. 5 linemen. We have our 2 slot. We have our flanker. We have a 2 slot, and we're motioning to maybe stacked, single back. And what do we see defensively? Single high safety. Man, it looks like. This looks like cover one, man free. That's what we would call it. So I want to see some presses. I want to see some jams. And I want to most importantly see a jam here. So those rub routes, those pick routes that we've been hearing so much about, that if you jam here at the line of scrimmage, it's a lot harder to run them. And we're not going to. Again, as I've been stating, we get a little bit here and definitely get it here. But there is fear of jamming at the line of scrimmage and missing the jam and having a guy just run right by you, especially sitting in single high safety where you have very little help. This is too high safety. You can have a little bit more freedom. If you miss a little bit, the guy gets by you. You have a little safety net with that safety behind you. But we definitely get a good jam here, it looks like. And just enough at the bottom of the screen to take him off his route. That's all it is. That's all it is. This is very timing oriented. He's going for a double move. He gets the hand on him. Maybe it just took him off half a step. And the ball's not thrown well. Actually, I might be eating my words here. This ball's thrown well. Does he have them? Yeah, this ball's thrown well. He's playing that trail technique, which, the Alabama Crimson Tide plays so much. How Bill Belichick runs it. That's what his defensive backs will play. Tennessee Titans play it. The Arizona Cardinals, a lot of trail technique there, where a guy just kind of sits back half a yard and plays the ball. This ball was not thrown well. So I don't know how he would have reacted had the ball been thrown correctly, because it kind of looked like that's the technique he was playing. Give up half a step, but you can play the ball a little bit better. But I would have been interested to see that ball thrown and get an actual good pass out of that to see how the play could have developed. And we're punting. So let's move ahead. Do one drive in the second quarter. How's that sound? 1, 2, 3, about 7 plays. Too high. And look what the safeties are. This was after a touchback. 30, pretty much 10 yards. We're playing 10 yards off the ball. This is respect for the run game. They know that the Patriots can run the ball. This is also kind of leverage for these guys. They can probably read the pass plays a little bit more. Maybe potentially we can get a blitz inside and you can play man coverage, so they're not giving up too much space in between. Outside them, imagine at 15 yards, you can get a stop route or something that these guys just will never ever cover. So it kind of gives you a little bit of freedom to blitz here. Now he's playing off because we have a tight end, and typically do not want to play on the ball with a tight end. And we'll see how this motion works. So they kick over. We see defense kick. He kicks over. Kind of now we're just dead even. Everything's even defensively. It looks like very well set up. And this is what I was kind of meaning. This is smart. And see where his leverage is to the numbers. I want to back it up and see how he presses here. You have safety help. Where do you want the wide receiver to go? I mean, this seems simple. Look where his leverage is. He's outside. He's splitting him in the crotch with his left foot so that he keeps his outside shoulder free. So this guy doesn't come and run outside and go down the sideline. Especially from the left hash mark. NFL's got those such tight hash marks that you can get these out routes, these outside routes. So much room to work with. And he's trying to take that away. And there's his help. If it goes to the sideline, this guy isn't getting over there. Or it's a lot harder for him to get over there. By pushing him inside helps right here. So let's watch him off the ball. Doesn't even attempt to try and fight across his face. There's no attempt to it. We're just going to come inside, maybe the option routes here. You know, maybe we can draw some linebackers in on those play action so I can run over the middle here. So, you know, he knows his play action. The outside leverage doesn't bother him as much, potentially. He doesn't take advantage of the play action, though. Look where linebackers are. Up near line of scrimmage. A lot of room right here. A lot of room against cover 2. You know who ran that play that right here? Was the Seahawks. We saw it yesterday against the cover 2. And the stop route. That's too easy. Are they in quarters? This might be quarters. It looks like he was passing him off there, doesn't it? Yeah, stop right up here too. He had his pick. That's a little disconcerting. It looks like it's gonna drop into quarters. You know, there was no really interest, I should say, what's the word? I guess it was just, they weren't gonna fight him until, you know, they were expecting a deep route and all that. There really wasn't too much interest in fighting him up to that point. That's a little disconcerting. Schematically, I don't like that. Have the Patriots ever ran a dive play with a fullback just go straight? I don't think that's a play in their playbook. Like if I'm this guy and I see a fullback going like this, I have to know it's a pass. The Patriots don't run this play. It seems to cover it well. It was reacting well. We had good reaction here. Just didn't have it on the back end on either side. He was open. We saw the receiver on the right hand side of the offense was open. It's a little disconcerting, especially because we know that that's a route. That's a perfect route tree that the Seahawks run. Stop routes. They run a lot of stop routes. That was a post corner or something you got there. Okay, that's one thing because we don't see it too much. But that was a stop route. Really probably an option route. And he read the safeties dropping off. Get the end zone cam to get this. Fullbacks now filling the hole. Just ISO, double here. And we're going to try and work up to 51. That's a great job here. Great fill here. Blocking wise, this is terrific from the Patriots. Now, who wins a late one-on-one? Is that Woodyard? Trevathan, excuse me. So he's able to win the one-on-one versus the fullback, but you know it's after a few yard gain and had blunt, you know, high step through that. Who knows? That was very well blocked. And it being very well blocked, you have to give Denver a little bit of a little bit of credit because that was so well blocked. You know, Trevathan wins his one-on-one there and making a tackle. You know, so some credit is due because that was well blocked initially. Okay, now we're seeing a little bit of change. Ball's at the 50, we'll say, 10 yards, and now 15 yards, 16 yards off the ball. Off. Cheating towards the tight end. Who's looking here? Scream zone, right? No one's covering. Scream zone. And we get a little flare pass. Block. Typically this happens because there's no one covering that 3 slot. 3 slot was uncovered. This might be a hot call from Brady. You know, that's see how he's uncovered? He's able to work up to this 3rd level. Or get a cutoff block. Who's he go for? He cuts off. That's all he's doing. Too much room. You know who will run that play? Do you imagine the difference here will be the bubble? where these two will block and the ball go to him. And on Seattle, that'll be Percy Harvin. Now, the Patriots run this play to Vereen because Vereen's such a good ball player out in the open field, great hands in the backfield. They can get the extra blocker out there. It's not typically what you want Marshawn Lynch to do, but that is what you want Percy Harvin to do. And defense line's not a factor here. There's nothing they could do. I mean, obviously the ball's out too quick. J.J. Watt's not making the play there. Need to see more from these guys. Gotta see more. We're in a tight formation. Single high. Press in here. A lot of bodies on the field. A lot of bodies on the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of depth at linebacker either. There's our safety actually playing that Cam Chancellor position. See how they're get that cover 2 look pre-snap. Now we're going to go to cover 1. That's that Eric Weddle right there. Okay. Trevathan makes the play again. That's him. I gotta say, from every team I've watched this year, the best offensive line at run blocking very well could be the Patriots. Now I understand 2 times I'm saying this, they're a 3-yard gain and 2-yard gain, but just watch the technique here. Double team here. Cutoff block here. 2 other cutoff blocks. This double team is terrific. Except we were too successful because we're pancaking. No one was able to get up on him. He's pulling around to block him. Now, if one of these 2 guys that pancaked here could have just blocked Trevathan, this is a huge play. You can actually be too successful, believe it or not. And I don't think this is so much like that comment Sims made. He threw the ball so well it was overthrown. I think it's just that he's trying to work up, but they actually, you know what? Hold on. No, that's a pancake. Nope, that's a pancake block. They got him. But because he got pancaked, it left the linebacker free. Okay. It's like a little rub route here. But we're going to jam at the line, so let's watch that. So they stack up. Stack screams pick route. Just does. Best way to defend a pick route is just just hold on to this guy. What does he do? He just gets a hand on it and just runs with. And he's going to take the inside. He's taking inside. He's going to take outside, pretty much. So they're jumping there too. See that? Who jumps it? He jumps it? No, he jumps it. Okay, let's watch the pass catcher. Hamuno, I don't know why. Oh no. Just look at the play, so we're alright. Okay, so he's just running up. This looks like that's just an in route, just deep in. That's too easy. That's too easy. Del Rio, man. He believes in cover, don't rush. Let him pick us apart because he'll make a mistake eventually. Tackled. What is that? So we had, oh, come on. Why is this happening? NFL needs to upgrade their friggin' thing. So, okay. Press. I love it. Off the bat, I like it. Now just jam, please. Too high at 10 yards. So still respecting that run game. Two-man box, two-man linebackers. We're pressing the other linebacker up to the line of scrimmage, maybe trying to attack this wing. In the past, we have seen, not out of the two-back set, but the Patriots have run wing counter, so maybe they're trying to negate that. This looks like a good play from him already. We'll get a better angle from the end zone, but I guess Knighton just blows this up, huh? The reason I said that is he wins inside real easily. And you don't normally want to get up contained, but if you can win this much inside, you kind of taking contain away as is. So he uses his left shoulder, so we kind of able to keep this outside shoulder free. There's nowhere to run outside. You still got two guys at the next level. Everyone looks a little unbalanced though. Let's watch Knighton. 94, right here. And this I have seen. This is the Terrence Knighton that I got accustomed to in Jacksonville. Okay, engages, reads zone immediately. These defensive linemen at the NFL level are incredible at reading zone. I don't know how they do it so quickly. Usually my mind takes a second to react. You see how many times I have to go through these things to get it right? These guys are getting it first time right off the bat. So he reads it immediately. And look where these guys are. They're past Terrence Knighton. They're up at that second level. This center, he's 2 yards deep in the backfield. Tom Brady, Denver 20. So this ball's on the 20-yard line. This is the 20-yard line. He's pushed him past the 20-yard line. Sheds it. Got good balance, it looks like. You know, good wide feet. I mean, yeah, he comes in, makes the play, when he gets hurt, unfortunately. But, man, Knighton, that's what he can do. Looks like he lost weight at 335. Okay, off. He's deep, and he's at, 9 yards? Okay. 14, 9, off and off. 4-3, JDR style. And we're going to play cover 2 shell. Gotta have good linebackers, man. This is too easy. Too much depth. Where's he going? Where's he going? This is too much depth. He's 10 yards off the ball. We don't need you at 10 yards. We have these guys for that. You need to be at 7. 7 max. Look where he is. He's at 4. We have a great read from our safety, thankfully, but and a good tackle from our backside. So just watch this in full. Just watch the depth of the linebackers. They're at 5 yards to begin. He's running out the flat. Just too much depth. Zone is about keeping your depth correct. It's about being very aware of what's going on in a route tree. What's potential, stop routes, corner post. What can we see here? And you have to be very wary of where you fall into. You cannot be. This is like that flood route I saw yesterday. That guy is his runoff guy. His only reason is to run that linebacker off so that we have an easy pass in the middle of the field for a few yards and some yak. Fortunately, the safety makes a great play, forces him outside, and Trevathan again makes a good tackle. That's interesting. This is interesting. 3rd and 9 on the 19-yard line. We have twins right, so he's playing off. and he's playing up. And we even have really twins left too because of the wing. But now we go to trips. And what happens? He bails and he moves up. And he actually is coming into the box. This is very interesting. To me, this is kind of telling me they aren't too worried about too many deep routes beating them here. They trust these guys on the outside to hold their own on the potential fade routes. And I'm imagining there's pressure coming. There isn't. So this is just a cover one with some zone. Almost quarters, huh? Very interesting. And the reason he's bailing, because he wants to be able to, if this is a pick route, he wants to be able to react. So he's going to, jam with the line of scrimmage. It's good technique, it's hands on, keeps his body square. But now he's giving up leverage. Is that Bailey? That's what I mean with Champ. This is Champ, huh? He's not the greatest guy in space. What's he doing grabbing his face mask? I think they got bailed out there by pass rush. So there might have been an open guy. No, actually he's covered very well. I mean, that's a dangerous pass into these two. There's a lot of time to react. It's covered well. But that's interesting just how that entire sequence went down. They kind of give that man look with him crossing the field. But they're dropping into actually what was essentially a zone. Confused me, and Ayers just went to inside rush. Again, our inside rush is going to be there on Sunday. It's that technique that they're going to be willing to play. Because he does this rush and Russell Wilson just gets outside. Guess what? We have a lot of running lane. That's it's a rush that you have extra rushes you can do against less mobile quarterbacks. But don't worry, mobile quarterbacks run into sacks more often. Whew. How long have I been going? This is, if we can do one more drive. This looks like a fine one. 23-3. So this is desperation mode. We'll see what they're doing. Down 20 points. Some coverage. Just secondary stuff now, I guess. These guys know it's pass. So just let them run. Quarters, huh? Looks like quarters to me. Deep, 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 deep. And obviously you push the quarters to the side with more men. There's no reason to have him playing here if no one's ever going to be able to run there. Four deep, 3 under. Any pass rush. What happens? Who do they pull around? What's going on here on the offensive line? They're influencing the run. Influences him outside. He actually runs into a block where potentially he had a clean shot. That's a hell of a throw, huh? Man, let's see that. That window was tight, especially that linebacker sitting there. Okay. Oh, ow. Give that cover 2 look, but we're up. A little off actually, and he comes into the box with the motion. It's just interestingly enough. Again, Patriots don't take advantage of the potential linebackers biting on the play action. There's no route here. It should have been potentially a post route, I feel. If this is an option route where he has to option between post or fade, I don't know. He even gets inside leverage. He knows his play action. He knows that if this linebacker cheats inside, we have an area to throw to. Now, it's scary to run this route because he's sitting there. And that's always potential for a big hit, and you're thrown into the safety. You know, it's dangerous, but you're down 23 to 3. And I'll take the 15-yard gain. Watch this fall. Collie's outside. Just a stop route. Low in. Okay. Yeah, you're going to give that up. He goes cover fairly well. That's what I mean by depth, too, though. You know, it's understanding the routes that can be run in that situation. Down, distance, scoreboard, all those things matter. This is from a 38, I think I saw. Too high. Up, both were up on the line of scrimmage. Excuse me. Another play action, and we're running to where linebackers were. So we finally kind of get that look. Look, all that flow. It's easy. You just have to run right behind him and sit down. Runs right behind him, sits down. That's what play action can do. I don't know why they're falling for play action 23 to 3 on back-to-back plays. This is back-to-back plays. This might be 3 plays in a row just from play action, and they handed the ball off. But that was too easy. Gotta play a little bit more discipline than that. Gotta understand the situation. I think I would be telling my guys, listen, play your zones. If they hand the ball off, let's make the worst case scenario 5 yards. But if we get caught trying to stop the run on play action, you know, worst case is a touchdown. Now we got a game here. So let's be smart. Let's understand the situation, what's going on. That's what I'd be talking to the team about. You can always rally on the run. A lot harder to rally on the pass. And where's our pressure come from? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. Well, he's covering. So 6 guys up on line of scrimmage. And he's blitzing. I take that back. So what's 7? And this is an uncovered man. There's no one there to block him. There never will be. This is why this has to be a quick out or quick in. God, did they get hurt every single play? Did both these guys go? Everyone went. What was that throw? How does he get this ball off? It's like when you hit the button real quick in Madden and you just get some kind of weird throw. That's intentional grounding, man. That's just what it is. Okay. I like it. I kind of wish this is what they're playing most of the game, to be honest. I know they're effective either way, but you know, I think this aggressiveness really forces the issue here. You know, and really aggressive cornerback play can actually give these guys more time in today's NFL, because in all those zones, quarterbacks have all those 7-on-7s that they run all off season, and a lot of them are against zone coverages during the off season, so that, you know, someone doesn't get a boo-boo while doing, you know, a quick slant route, you know, stuff like that. They're used to running against the zone coverages. You start playing man in their face, man, maybe take off a half a step on a route, makes him pump fake real quick, you might actually get these guys that half a second they need to get to the quarterback. Quarterbacks get rid of the ball so fast. You have to find ways that the, you know, someone doesn't get a boo-boo while doing, you know, a quick slant route, you know, stuff like that. They're used to running against the zone coverages. You start playing man in their face, man, maybe take off a half a step on a route, makes him pump fake real quick, you might actually get these guys that half a second they need to get to the quarterback. Quarterbacks get rid of the ball so fast. You have to find ways that defensive line could get home a little bit quicker. Hang on one second, my dog wants in from outside. Excuse me, sorry about that. So anyway, you want to find ways that give these guys an extra half a second or so to get to that quarterback. And I say that and I actually get there. Little zone blitz action, huh? Do you see who dropped back in the coverage? Is that a scary man to throw to? Not throwing the ball there. 340 pounds of man. That's a great rush. And that's how you have to win your one-on-one. It's got to be quick. Let's do one or two more plays here. Okay. Trips. Send too high. This is zone. And Woodyard plays his zone well, it looks like. And they're jamming. They're physical. I love it. Excuse me, I think it was a defensive lineman running with the tight end. You gotta love it. Jamming across the board, jams. Everyone getting hands on wide receivers. Okay, gave up a route. The one guy gives up the routes, the one playing off. Look at this. There's no quick routes here. That gives these guys an extra second. No quick routes. And we still got too high. Give your defensive line a chance. We got, was that a whip route? In and out. In and out. Whip. Dig. Whatever you want to call it. It's tough. That's a tough route to defend. That might be the hardest route to defend in man coverage. That's a good rush. That's a good rush. Against Russell Wilson, that's a good rush. We saw how Russ Wilson does not like that pocket getting collapsed. There's Brady. We know that. Seen 2 Super Bowls where that happens. Okay, we got 2 more plays in this drive. Now this is invert. Invert just means safeties can play corner. See where he's kind of moving to. And the reason that happens is because there's not a whole real need for safeties at the goal line. That was there. This might give us a better look. That was there. I don't know if Trevathan was kind of in his throwing lane, but I think that should have been a touchdown. Quarters is a typical goal line defense. You see that a lot. It's almost like a cover 6. That should not happen, no. I mean, he just sits down in between 2 guys. One of these guys has to crash, right? He's looking inside. He's looking at the quarterback. Chan Bailey does not look good in space. I think that's been said and told 100 times. I mean, what other receivers coming out here? There's no one else there. You have to adjust. I mean, it's just as much on him as it is on Woodyard. I mean, both of them have to play their position and have to react accordingly. But that was too easy for a touchdown. Okay, I'll close this up. I really feel, truly, that the team that is out there that we just saw, that cover two, going into cover one, a little bit of quarters defense, that type of coverage is what we will see on Sunday. Jack Del Rio has run that since 2003, 2004. It's just what he has done. It's what he's comfortable with. It's what the Broncos have ran most of throughout the season. DRC might be the best player on their defense going into this game. Might be a guy you gotta look for. I think we will see more zone than man just because of Wilson's athleticism, his ability to run. I think you will see some zone blitzes, like when you saw Knighton dropping out, try and give some different looks. You don't want to just sit into a very bland, vanilla defense, even against a quarterback that maybe isn't the best in the league at dissecting them, tearing them apart like a Brady would be. But, overall, I think their defense can match up. Percy Harvin will be a tremendous issue for them, I feel. Because I don't think... See, I'm not entirely sure. I think they can match up with them, but I just don't feel their nickel corners are going to play up to a standard that you want if they have to play man coverage, and you're going to be kind of handcuffed into a zone. But, we'll see how they want to attack it. We'll see how healthy Percy Harvin really is. I mean, as he touched a football field, the guy's been coming out of the game. So, you have to see just how much of a weapon he can be. But if he is healthy, these 3 weeks off have helped him, then it'll be very dangerous. Against the run, I don't know how much you run inside. I know Unger has, I think Unger's at center, correct, for Seahawks. If he's playing at the level that he was in the game we just watched yesterday, I think Knight needs him alive. That was not the best effort against those interior linemen for the San Francisco. Now, San Francisco 49ers have some absolutely terrifying defensive linemen. So, having a poor game against them, or even an average game, if that's what you want to call Unger's game, isn't the worst thing in the world because most guys look silly against them. So, Knighton looks to have some very solid technique. He's getting off the ball well. I don't know how much he's going to bring in the pass rush. I don't think he's going to catch Russell Wilson unless it's just a real quick 1-2, knock the guy in the backfield, swim move over, and we got a sack. That's one way of doing it. But on the outside, those guys are going to have to press up. They're going to have to contain the rush. They're going to have to keep the gaps inside contained. Don't let this guy outside. And force him to make the throws. And he has. Russell Wilson has made the throws. So, but I think there's one thing is you have to force him to do it. And I think the Broncos can feel confident with 7 guys in the box to stop the run. I don't think you have to load it up. I think you can play that too high. But, so we'll see too high, we'll see single high, we'll see cover 1, we'll see the, quarters, and some zone blitzes. That's a lot. They can throw a lot of different looks. What I don't think we'll see is cover 0. I don't think we'll see too much of that. And I don't think you'll see any cover 3. I think they'll be pretty content with the man coverage on the outside, preferring to push those guys towards the safety rather than work the sidelines. And that should be all. I think that's a decent overlook at what the Broncos want to do defensively. Now, in a few hours, I'll do the Broncos offense. We'll look at what Peyton Manning wants to run, what can be run against this terrific secondary for Seattle, and just overall, maybe we'll see what Moreno can bring to the table. I think Moreno can add a level to stop the Seahawks pass rush a little bit. at least from the interior guys like McDonald and Bryant, who I think are playing maybe the best football out of anyone on the team. Just watching that last game, they were the guys that jumped off the screen more than anyone. But especially that McDonald, my, that is a good player. So, I was saying yesterday, that'll be interesting to watch this Denver offensive line. Manny Ramirez, Zane Beatles, Chris Clark, or Ryan, what's his name? Chris Clark or Ryan Clark or whatever one. To make Clark's in the NFL. I think it might be confusing with Clady too, but so that's what we got. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like I said, I'll try and do this around 8 o'clock, maybe 7:30 Eastern time. Do the offense and give some predictions on the Hall of Fame and give my feelings towards who I think will win the Super Bowl. So, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys later.